And you're locked into another episode of the Analytica Podcast. My name is Josh. I turn down the music a little bit so you can actually hear me. And we're happy to be here this week. We know we took a week off. Things just unfortunately fell by the wayside, and there was just no podcast episode. But we were that this week. We attended our first Comic-Con, so this episode is just talking about that. And I'm going to bring in my lovely wife, Rebecca, because she is always a joy to have.
Thank you. So
And
joyful to be here.
yes. So I think I'll mention this will be mentioned on either next week or a couple of weeks from now, where you'll see these lights behind us, and it'll be like, "Hey, this is the first time we're using these lights."
Surprise.
Yeah,
It's
which
lovely.
it was at the time that I recorded it. So kind of getting out of order. The lights behind me are okay. The one thing behind Becca is, for some reason, it's like doing this like weird stroll thing. You see where it's like going up slowly. Um, we're using an iPhone for that, so maybe it's just the way that the camera is trying to read the light where it can't. So unfortunately, Becca, you're gonna have to live with that. But you have some light behind you at least.
That is true. I
Yeah.
do.
And I think it's kind of like a stroll, a very slow stroll.
It's a very slow strobe. Yes, if we change the what frames per second, then
Yeah, oh yeah, it goes like yeah. Though we gotta keep that 60 because we're doing 60 frames at 1080 full high def.
that's right. Molly was wagging her tail and it was moving the the cords for the lights,
Oh,
and I was afraid the lights were gonna fall
oh
over.
yeah. Well, I mean they're not it's not much of an extension on those, so
Not much, no.
yeah. Um, but anyway, technical stuff aside, we're very excited to be talking about Comic-Con. So, for those of you who may not have known and or don't keep up with our social media, we did attend our first Comic-Con here in Nashville. It was the second annual Nashville Comic-Con, and it was honestly a blast. We had a lot of fun. Excuse me. So we're just going to talk about a couple of our experiences, and we'll also be sharing some of those photos and videos with you as well. I think we'll have shared those either Wednesday or Thursday. We'll have shared those. Give you guys like a sneak peek of
Molly,
what we experienced.
sorry.
For those of you wondering, we did not cosplay. We were trying to gauge. We
Well,
this
we'd
is
never been to a con before,
right.
and we knew a lot of people cosplayed, but we didn't know if honestly if the venue was going to be air conditioned or not. We thought it might be, but we weren't
Yes.
sure. And so it just kind of fell through. We were like, let's wait till next year until we know what to expect.
Right.
Which was a good idea, I think. Next year is going to be so much fun. We'll
Yes.
definitely go back.
Yeah, now that we know how to plan and well, again, dogs makes an appearance. They haven't made an appearance in a while, but you know.
Haven't.
Um, but yeah, so we now know what to expect and now know how to plan for next year. One of the main reasons for going to this con is because could be a couple of the celebrities that were going to be there, and it was a joy to meet them. Chuck Norris is there. I didn't meet him because the line was very long to
And the
meet him.
prices were
Yes.
outrageous.
What was it? It was
It was a
two
hundred dollars for an
an autograph.
autograph, 150 for a picture and an autograph. I don't remember. It
No,
was it.
it had to be double that. It had to be like 200 for
Well, it definitely went up. It was like 100, and then as the lowest,
yeah.
and then 150, 200, 250 or something. So
I mean, when you're meeting the man, the legend, I mean, I guess money's no option. It's an object. For us, it was.
for us, it definitely was.
Yeah.
I know.
But I did get to meet my all-time favorite voiceover duo, and that is the duo that voiced Nats and Goofy from my favorite movie, any movie of all time, a Goofy movie. I'm talking about none other than Jason Morrison and Bill Farmer. I met both of them. They can I took pictures with them. We attended their Q&A, and I can now die happy because I got this signed by both of them. I'm gonna have it framed and it's gonna hang somewhere in the office. So
Maybe you
it's
could put it right above your computer so you
oh
can
yeah,
look at it.
yep, and marvel at it and like, oh, man, that's so good. But yeah, and this like so many so they had this picture and then they also had like one that was like the original VHS cover photo. Um
Is that not the original VHS photo?
no, so this one is it was like made when the DVD came out. But that's not the original cover art that was used. Um,
Interesting. What was on the
on the
cover?
cover art, it was Nat, Scoopy, Roxanne, and it was Goofy on top of the car that was like had his fishing pole, kind of like leaning off of the car. Um,
Man, I don't remember this.
it,
I guess that's probably because the Goofy movie, it wasn't a staple in our house
right. Well, I
because
mean,
we had
yeah,
all girls in the house and it was
correct.
a father-son
Yeah, so
movie.
this was very much a father-son dynamic,
Yeah.
which is what related it to me and my dad because we loved this growing up. We'd watch it together every year. We'd be on the road. We'd be on a road trip, listen to a cassette tape about two people being on a road trip. So kind of a inception that way.
Yes.
But good time. We wore that cassette tape out. And now we have Spotify, so you can listen to it without worrying if you're gonna wear it out or not.
Thank goodness.
Now we also spent way too much money than
Way more
we,
money than we thought we would.
but we're gonna get a couple new set pieces that'll be
Sure.
behind us. Once we can hang those up, is what we were looking for with our kind of like vibe that we were gonna go with, and we found some great pieces that we're excited to share with you soon.
Yeah, which means that you'll have to like zoom out of your face so we
Yes,
can
yes.
actually see the
Well,
pictures.
well, okay. The thing is, I didn't want to get the plug in, and maybe I just need to have this higher. Maybe that's what I need to
I
do.
think what we need to do is like make our background more interesting or something. Or maybe
Well,
we move. Now, this is really just shooting the breeze.
yeah, yeah.
But
Hey, another week of it, yay!
yay! Um, but I mean, maybe we could move. I'm looking over there because it's over in that direction. But
Yeah.
maybe we could move the bookcase
Uh-huh.
over to cover the plug. Also, I don't think anybody cares about the plug.
Yeah,
Do you guys
yeah,
care about the plug? I
yeah.
don't
I
think
know
you
you
do.
care when we plug different people, but I mean about as far as the socket plug, no.
Oh gosh.
If you really have a vendetta against plugs, let us know. It'll go to an inbox that we won't read.
You're so mean.
I'm joking. We read every email. Well, honestly, I've been last on a few getting back to people because school, gosh,
Yeah, but this
busy,
is about
busy.
con
It is back on,
right
so
now.
that's right. So, Rebecca, I've talked about a couple of my big things. So, with sorry, I thought the house was shaking. It was just Ginger. Um, uh, what were a couple of your favorite things about con? Again, I know that you wanted to cosplay, but we didn't just because we didn't know what was going to be going on. But there were a lot of people who were in costume. Did you see anything that like really interests you? Um,
Yeah, there were some excellent, excellent costumes. There was a really cool like punk Spider-Man.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember seeing
He
that.
was really cool. It was a great outfit. And then there was a girl, there were several girls dressed up as male characters, and they put really fun spin on it that I liked a lot. There was a girl who was dressed up as Inuyasha, and that stuck out in my mind. And then there was a family or family and group of friends, I don't know, um, that they were dressed up as Demon Slayer characters. The dad was carrying the daughter on his back in like a carrier
Oh
thing,
yeah, yeah,
and they built a box um behind the little carrier to make it look like Nezuko's box.
yeah.
And then either mom or somebody else, I don't know, was dressed as Nezuko. And then someone else was dressed as a female version of Inosuke. And it
Yes,
was
yes.
a really good cosplay. She did an excellent job. Um, so yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah,
Great cosplays.
yeah, there was one we saw the second day. Somebody dressed up as a female Ash Ketchum from Pokemon.
Oh
Had like
yeah.
the dazzled cap, and there were a couple like little ones that are dressed up as like little Pokemon, like a little Snorlax, and got to take a picture together.
Yeah.
It was fun.
That was very cute.
Yeah, so a lot of cute costumes.
There was someone dressed up too in a very impressive mushroom costume. And
Yes,
I cannot
I
for the
can't.
life of me
Yeah,
think of where that costume is from.
yes,
I can't.
I can see it, but I can't
Is it like a
point where it's
Studio
from.
Ghibli?
I want to say it
Is there like a
is.
little character that's a mushroom?
Yeah.
It was like a big mushroom hat.
Hmm.
And then there she had like ribbons kind of coming down that
Right.
were cream, like a cream ribbon. And then
Yeah.
she had like it was like I don't know, it was like brown material crossed against across the chest.
Hmm.
Wait, okay, what if it was Made in Abyss?
Oh, yeah.
Does that sound
Sound. Oh, like the cat. No, no, I don't. I can't.
it
I
fits
have to.
in that world, but I
Yeah.
don't know if that's correct. Anyway, if you guys know what this character is, please let us know because it's been driving me crazy all weekend
Yeah.
and all week, honestly.
But yeah, so there were a lot of great costumes. So one of the main reasons why people go to cons, of course, hanging out and getting to see people, is the panels because those are where fans get to interact in Q&As and just hear the stories from the celebrities. So I attended two. We attended one with Jess Morrison and Will Friedle. And for those who are not know Will Friedle, he is most notable. He's most noticed for his character Eric Matthews on Boy Meets World, and he's also done Batman Beyond for the animated
He's
series.
also done a lot of other stuff. Like he was Ron Stoppable in Kim Possible,
Yep.
and he was, oh gosh, who else? What else was he in? I'm trying to think of all his other characters. I don't know. Those are the only other ones I could think of.
Yeah. The dynamic between the two of them,
And Jason Marsden and Will
yeah,
Friedle. Yeah.
right. Just, I mean, very funny. Just,
Well, you can tell they're best friends.
yeah. Now, the one that I was most excited was a very goofy panel. Again, that was with Bill Farmer, Jason Larson, because I want to ask a question, just so I could cross off my bucket list, and I did. And we're gonna go ahead and play that clip for you here.
Josh, this question's for Jason.
What's up, Josh?
Hey, how you doing?
Great.
Awesome. So you played Kotaku and Spirited Away.
Yes, I did.
What's that experience like for you? Working on a Studio Ghibli film.
Thank you for asking. What was it like working on a Studio Ghibli film, Spirited Away? I had never, embarrassingly, I'd never heard of Miyazaki-san until I booked that gig. And at the time, it was explained to me that he was like the Disney of Japan. And this movie, at the time, Spirited Away, when it was released in Japan, made more money than James Cameron's Titanic. And John Lasseter, who was with Pixar, wanted to introduce it to American audiences. So very similar to what Bill did with the video game I did with the movie, dubbing it. And so I only saw my character. When you do ADR, they show you the picture and you kind of fit the dialogue into the open mouth flaps as best as you can. And I only saw the scenes that my character was in. I didn't get to see the entire movie until 3 months later when it was all mixed. And when I watched it in its entirety, I realized, oh, this is very special. It completely blew me away. And then, fortunately, as part of it, they flew me to Toronto to the Toronto Film Festival for the premiere, and I got to meet Miyazaki-san and his producer, and they were fantastic. They gifted me all this cool stuff that I've never seen. I've never merchandise I haven't seen anywhere else, and I'm stupid proud to be part of it. I mean, I won the Academy Award. No thanks to me. I mean, it's a hit with and without me. It's fun. It's special. I love it, and I love like the fans, just like Goof movie fans, and the fans of Spirited Away are also like it hits them in a different spot. And I get a lot of vulnerability and emotional people coming up to me about that, and I just dig it. And I just tell them, listen to me very carefully. When you see Kamaji the Boilermaker, I'm going to ask you for a job, but don't take no for an answer.
So much fun to have that experience, and for him to do the voice of Kohaku from Spirited Away. Um, it was kind of sad that he hadn't heard of the Studio Ghibli before that, but again, everything comes into it
Well, you have
sooner or
to,
later.
yeah, you have to, I mean, it takes a while
Right.
sometimes. So
And of course, during that time, anime wasn't widely popular.
certainly not like it is
No, no,
now.
no. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, if you ever go to a Comic Con, this one I think is fairly small compared to others. Like ones in like
At
Los
least this
Angeles,
year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like ones in Los Angeles and New York, there are like thousands upon
And
thousands.
San Diego, right? That's a big one.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Either in San Diego or Los Angeles.
Yeah, there's several that are really big. Yeah.
I know Anime Expo is one.
Mhm.
One close to us, MomoCon, which is in Atlanta. Um, also very
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, there's one in Murfreesboro, right?
Yes,
That's an anime
anime is
con.
anime specific. I don't know if they've done the past couple of years. I'd have to check, but that is another one that is done,
Yeah.
specifically for anime. This one was really anything that was like pop culture.
Yeah.
Most people though were there dressed as an anime character or a Disney character,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I saw a group of like Skeletors, which was interesting. They all, I guess, they made a pact and were like, we're all gonna dress up as Skeletor. I'm like, okay, you go. Oh, a couple of pictures I wanted to get. Again, we didn't take many pictures just because we were wanting to enjoy, but we did take a few. Um, they had the Mystery Machine and the Ghostbusters mobile out there. I would
Well,
like
you should
to.
have said something
I know my mind was wrapped around like just getting into the con and um,
and then leaving.
well, yeah.
Gotta get out.
uh, and that's another thing that was about the con is it it seemed like a more like come and go type of thing.
It definitely did. Well, it really because we were only interested in two panels,
Mhm.
and if we had have been interested in like Halo, the guy who was the voice
Oh
for
yes,
Master Chief,
yeah, Steve
he was
Downs.
there.
We
Yeah.
got the tail end of that one.
Yeah. So like he was there and I mean there were several of their voice
Yeah,
actors
yeah,
who were
Grey
doing
Delisle who did like Azula, Emily from Clifford, Vicky from Fairly Odd Parents. She was there. Um, uh, maybe I'll meet her next year. Though there was just too many people to meet. I got to shake hands and get autographs with two people. That was my goal, and I was satisfied.
and that's what we did. That was the most important thing. So
Right?
yeah.
It's very unlike the bigger cons where there's panels happening simultaneously, and you have the struggle figuring out which one to go to.
Yeah, there's
This
literally
it
just one
Yeah,
stage.
one stage it was one after the other because they it was panels all within like 15 minutes of each other.
Hmm.
So as soon as one went down, another came up.
They typically spent like 45 minutes on a panel and then had 15 minutes of musical interlude or something like that, and then there would start another panel. So it pretty much it went on for a long time. But I want to go back to panels and talk about the Boy Meets World panel. That was just so much fun. I
Yeah,
loved being able to hear the stories of Will Friedle and how funny both he and Jason are together. That was just a riot. And oh my gosh, that day, Jason had on this very
Oh,
orange
orange suit.
suit
And
that was like bedazzled, a
yes,
bedazzled orange suit.
and the funny thing about that was the
Crazy.
couch that they were sitting on was very orange. It looked like the Nickelodeon couch,
Yep.
which I think they commented or alluded to. And I'm like, man, you can't see Jason. He's too much part of the couch
It
now.
blends in.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Um,
But
one of the generalizations that Will Friedle, because this is the first time in Nashville, is he said, yeah, like I just like your hospitality and everything like that. All of you are so nice to the point where I don't believe you. And I get that because they live in, New York or Los Angeles, different cities in California, where sometimes, unfortunately, people are nice to you because they want something. It's like, oh, why are you talking? Like, what do you want?
yeah. Nashville's not like that.
No,
I mean,
no,
there's obviously some people that are like that,
right,
but I mean, I was, I mean, I've been born and raised here, um, my whole life pretty much. We've moved around, of course, but it's just a very Nashville thing to, yeah, stars are everywhere. Don't bother them. Like they're just living their life. They need to go to Kroger too,
yeah, yeah,
They they got to eat something, so they're, down at Burger Up in Cool Springs or wherever. So yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of a normal thing. Um and then I grew up in my neighborhood. I don't know if you remember, oh my gosh, what was her name? Anyway, she was a country music star. I can't remember her name. Sarah something, maybe.
Evans,
Yes, Sarah Evans, the Suds in the Bucket song. Yes, that's the only song I remember of
maybe,
hers. It's a good song. I like it.
yeah,
But yeah, she lived in our neighborhood, and there's another place where I think Faith Hill's brother lived,
mhm.
and so she would come and visit him, and then we'd see the limo out occasionally. So yes, I mean stars are everywhere here in the Nashville area, and the locals all just kind of leave everybody alone,
Yeah,
almost to the point where no one talks to them because they don't want to bother them. It's like so nice that it's almost too much, you know? I can remember my dad telling a couple stories. He runs in different circles, we'll just say that. But he's gone out and he's met, oh my gosh, all kinds of people. I can't even name all the names. Um, Actually, both of my parents are that way. They both live different lives, certainly than us. And yeah, he was like saying, Dad was saying he was at this party and literally like no one was talking to who was it? Jason Aldean? No, it wasn't him. It was um huge country music star, but whatever. He lives around here. Um and just like no one was talking to him basically. Anyway, I feel like I'm just rambling at
I
this
mean,
point.
kind of in Nashville, that's how it is. Like, you
Yeah.
just see people on the streets. Hey, they're famous. Okay,
You go, cool. You move on.
yeah,
You might fangirl or fanboy for a second inside and go, oh my gosh, look at that.
yeah. I feel
But
as you get older and
then you're okay.
you're around these people more, the starstruck moments don't really happen as much because the
Yeah.
more you learn, they're just like people.
Just
They just had a different career, and that's more public.
right, exactly. Yeah, I remember um my stepdad he's a film director and he was screening a movie at the house while I was living there and he had Faith Hill and Vince Gill come over and Faith no, I'm sorry. I totally messed that up. Amy Grant and Vince Gill, right? Am I crazy? Yes. I
Yeah,
mean, I am crazy,
no,
but
no, no, no.
I
I
think
mean,
that's the right
yeah,
pairing.
yeah, yeah. You're right.
Anyway, um, but yeah, so they came over and they watched a movie, this movie that they were screening. They were super nice, really down to earth. I mean, it was just like hey, Vince and I chatted about Sonic Ice and that they just bought a Sonic Ice machine and put it in their home. And he was like, best decision ever. So that was fun. I was like, ooh, we need to get one of those for our movie room.
And that's why your dad was like, "It's good enough for them skills, good enough for me."
Well, I think he already had his
Oh
put in.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah,
this, yeah, this wasn't,
trendsetter. Yep.
yeah, this wasn't at dad's house. This was at mom's house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep. But man, anyway, how did this turn into this conversation?
It just, hey, you say shoot in the breeze, so we went
I
with it.
know, I know.
But
Um,
yeah, Comic Con. I mean, we would definitely go back
yeah,
again.
for sure. Okay, what's your one of your favorite moments?
Um, well, meeting Jason Marsden, obviously.
Okay, yes.
Um, it's just nice to chat with him for a bit, and um, just the whole experience. Honestly, I felt like okay, the comic like it's split up into percentages. It was 70% walking, 20% meet and greet, and 10% panel.
Yeah, yeah. I think my
Well, okay, walking and shopping and buying things because the
there's a lot of that.
majority of exhibitors are it is merchandise. There's pictures, there's Funko Pops, figurines,
Loungefly.
a lot of Loungefly stuff,
Oh,
yes,
Loungefly.
and just different knickknacks. I think one person had like candles that were in teacups, and
That was so cool.
yeah,
I should have gone back and bought one, but they were so cool. Yeah, she had like poured candles that had like rose petals and other things on the top, and they were candles. I almost bought one for a friend, and then I was like, no, which I'm kind of glad I didn't because my gosh, we spent a lot of money.
yeah. We're not going to mention a number that it was a lot.
It was a lot. Yeah, more than we were anticipating.
Yes, we'll just keep it at that.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine how much more would have been if we bought concessions there?
Ugh.
That's why I'm glad that we kind of like pick and chose what we want to do and want to see. Because, like, I mean, we could spend $20 on a pretzel, or we could spend $12 on Chick-fil-A, and that's what we did.
Yes, that was definitely what we did. Um, as far as like my favorite part
Mhm.
of the con, I think
Right.
all of it was amazing.
Yes.
But I think one of my favorite parts, particularly of the panels, was when Jason Marsden and Bill Farmer they read scenes from famous movies as they were a
Oh,
father-son
yes.
duo. The first one they did was from, I think, Empire Strikes Back. Um,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Star Wars.
Star
Yeah.
Wars.
We'll play you that clip because it was very funny. You may have seen it on the Nashville Comic Con because they did a story about it as well, but we'll play it here as well.
If you only knew the power of the dark side, Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
Well, he told me enough. Told me you killed him.
No, I am your father.
No, no, it's not true. That's fucking impossible.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
Very, very funny. Just to hear the rendition of that in those voices.
Yeah, I know. Bill Farmer, particularly as Goofy,
Oh yeah,
and Darth Vader. That was my favorite.
yeah, it was
That was
good.
great.
So we would encourage everyone, like if you have never been to a con or if you're thinking about going to one, to definitely, just go. Find one that's close to you in your area. You may go to one that's
If you
like,
can.
within an hour, just like us. And depending on like what type of like con is popularity, um, sorry, if you hear that, that's our dogs viciously roughhousing with each other. So
Why,
it's
why
probably
in
that.
this moment did they choose?
So probably that time to time to wrap up.
How long
Hey,
have we been going?
it's been about half an hour.
Okay.
So Yeah. Anyway,
Not a whole lot of content.
yeah. Again, this is gonna be the full unedited, both audio and video. Just because you
Ooh,
know,
both.
huh?
So both. Wow.
Yeah.
For podcast and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
video.
yeah. We don't usually do uncut audio on a basis, but for stuff like this, we usually just keep it in. Um,
This is a very unprofessional version of our podcast that we
yes,
typically have.
yeah.
We
Well, when we do
apologize.
shoot the race stuff like this, not that we're like, oh, we're gonna just go up here and just be frumpy and do what we do. No, we do have some idea what we're gonna say, but it's not as
Today.
yeah, it's not as planned as our other episodes, but you're gonna get a planned episode next week.
Woo.
We're gonna have a guest on, and you may or may not see these lights. I haven't decided which episode I'm gonna post from the few that we've done already. But yeah. Um, Again, as a general reminder, the blog is taking a hiatus for a couple months. We do have some guest writers that will be kind of helping that once a month to kind of keep more content coming in. But yeah, as far as updates regarding the podcast, still going strong, still planning to do, every Friday, and we're looking to get to our normal programming next week.
Our regular scheduled programming.
Brought to you by the Arthur Davis Foundation. No. And viewers like you.
Arthur Davis. That's got to mean something. What does it mean?
So PBS,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. It would like be like before every program. This is sponsored by, all these people.
Got it.
There. Anyway, that's neither here or there. Um, until next week, everybody, keep those halos shiny and stay holy, my friends. And if you have doubts about Roughhouse, keep them out.
No. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everybody.